I'm king of the world. Shut up, Jack. Today on...
Don't sink into the ocean over the intro.
Don't iceberg over the ocean.
That door was big enough for two.
We have a guest. Not supposed to talk to the intro.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of your favorite podcast, Press Me to Cancel. No AI here, just good old-fashioned human slop. You're very welcome, YouTube. I'm your host, Jake. This week, we are talking about one of my favorite kind of topics we do here at Press B, which is deciding the games of the year of the past years. This week, we're doing 1997, and let me tell you, that's a hell of a year. I think I've said that for the last few of these, but it was a wild year for games. A lot of great games. Some started franchises, some were single entries. But I'm not going to determine this list on my own. Nope. I'm joined by some great fellows and one special guest we'll get to in a moment. Chard, how you doing this week?
Fantastic. It's been a week, TM.
T-shirts coming soon. Sinistar, how you doing?
You said Sinistar because I missed it.
Again, Wulff, how you doing this week?
How are you today?
I'm great. We've had guys working on our deck for 2 weeks, so we lost access to a big chunk of our backyard. But they finished it today, so we can actually do stuff out there again.
What a pain in the deck.
Yeah.
And we're joined by a special guest, Eddie from the Smashing Bricks podcast. Eddie, how you doing? Take a moment to tell us about yourself and about your podcast.
Yeah, I'm me. I am Eddie Inzauto of the Smashing Bricks podcast. Smashing Bricks, a retro gaming podcast, to be precise. And it is a show in which we revisit classic video games together to find out if they hold up to the rose tint of nostalgia. It's basically a games club podcast where we play a game a month, and I have a different guest every month. And we talk a little bit about the history, a little bit about our experience with the game historically, and our experience replaying the game now in 2026. And then at the end, we decide if the game was worth revisiting, and if it was, it's a smash, and if not, it was a brick, and we wouldn't recommend it to people. So that's the show.
Nice.
Interesting.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah.
It's like the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom in Mario 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the whole story in the manual for Mario says that like the bricks are made from the people of the Mushroom Kingdom. So
it's pretty dark. Yeah.
So when you're smashing the bricks,
you're a murderer. You're a multi-murderer.
That's not true.
Let
is
that
it?
one marinate.
Yeah, that's in the manual.
That's seriously in the NES manual. Yes.
It's quite
Wow,
dark.
I have the manual right over here somewhere. I should read it.
Yeah.
Now we can fact check it.
Or if you don't want to be a serial murderer, don't read the manual.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Ignorance
I
is
just wanted
bliss.
to be a mason. That's what I was going for.
Okay,
There you go.
nice.
All right. Well, let's, I guess we'll get started. So the way we do this, well, first off, a little preface. We go by the release dates from Moby Games. So if there's any conflicts with Wikipedia or wherever else you may be looking at your release dates for video games, know that we do follow Moby Games. Blame them, not us. Unless you want to leave a comment on this YouTube video, we take the engagement. Even if it's bad, it's fine. And the way we'll do it was we'll go around the table and everybody will give a runner-up pick, and then we'll go around again with the Game of the Year pick. And again, wild list of games this year of 97. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I'm glad we have an extra person here because there's more picks on the table. Otherwise, I think we would have missed a few that would have upset some folks. So this is good. And I guess who wants to start? Chard? I want you to take it easy. Wulff, how about you start us off? What's your runner-up pick?
Okay. Well, my runner-up pick is Grandia. This is... And I'm pretty sure this didn't come to the West until 1998, but I actually played it in 1997.
Okay.
I had a friend who was really into importing, and he grabbed it for the Saturn. And so that's the first way I played it was on the Saturn. And we were just struggling through the beginning, trying to find our way around town and all the the pot lid and the stick and everything to make the armor set. And it at the time, graphically, it kind of blew me away because I loved the really crisp 3D that it had, along with the sprite work. As an RPG, it was really good. It interestingly it had a drop off point partway through where you can't go back. So there's lots of areas that you can explore, and then you hit a point where it's like a no turning back, sort of like World of Ruin in Final Fantasy VI or something. But it wasn't the world changed; you just go to another part of the world, and now that's all you can access. And the story, if I remember correctly, it got really deep and dark, and I don't think it was as good as Grandia 2's, but it was still really good. Mechanically, it was a blast. This is one of those games that I love.
Nice. I
That's a
have
cool one.
as of yet to play a Grandia game.
Yeah,
Same. I've missed.
They're
all the
actually on
Grandias.
Steam. They did HD remasters for both Grandia 1
did they?
and 2 on Steam. You can buy them.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you played this, was it translated? It wouldn't have been, right?
When I played it, I put that initial time was like an afternoon with my friend's copy.
Oh, okay.
I did later get it on the PlayStation because I got to play the Saturn version, and I loved the combat and everything once we finally worked our way out of town. So I was already all in as soon as it came out.
Yeah. That's another franchise where it's, well, is it a franchise? It's 2 games. I think I played the second game on the Dreamcast, I want to say. But I guess we only ever got the 2 games, right?
I think so.
If I remember correctly, there was a Grandia game on the GBA as well.
Oh, really?
Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance, one of them. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. And then, of course, Grandia 2 got ported to the PlayStation 2 at one point, and I think it was just called Grandia Extreme for some reason. But
we have 4.
It's still the 90s.
More
'cause that's
Grandias.
a very 90s thing.
There's 4 of
I'm
them?
sorry, you
Four of 'em.
said that you didn't say that right. You have to say Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's Grandia Extreme.
There is 3 Grandias, 1, 2, and 3, and then the 4th one is Extreme. But Extreme is actually in between 2 and 3. So there you go.
Huh.
There's Grandia
Apparently
1,
something
Grandia
called-
11, and Grandia 11 plus 1.
Grandia 11.
Yeah.
Grandia 111.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah, thank you.
or,
Thank
or
you.
I.
Yeah, there's a lot of distance in between each game's lore, so there's a lot to go. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts, where it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
based
PS2.
on Grandia 1 and 2, if the other ones follow a similar trajectory in terms of storytelling, it starts off ridiculously small scale. And like I'm saying, you're running around dealing with bullies in the first town for this poor 15, 16-year-old kid. And then by the end of it, you're dealing with gods and how they've forsaken the earth.
It's accurate. It's an accurate RPG. That
Like
sounds like a 90s RPG.
this is a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The power creep is real.
Yeah.
From bullies to gods. That's how we do it here.
Yeah.
That's great. Like my
and
D&D
God
campaign.
and
T-shirt.
God bullies. And God bullies.
God
And
bullies. Bully gods.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great pick, Wolf. I
Roman
think
mythology?
That's a great one. Is it? And it's Grandia. Like I played the second game. I thought it was fantastic. I love the artwork in the first game as well, from what I've seen of it. And music is awesome. Like it's an all around great game. I'm just kind of surprised we didn't get more of these. Although finding out there's a Grandia 3 on PS2 is pretty shocking to me. I didn't know that one. I might have to check that one out.
Yeah, I must have known about that and just forgot about it. I don't remember, but
All signs of a
I've
great
seen
game.
people play this to badge it on retro achievements, but I've never actually touched it myself. It was in my list when I was doing all my RPG stuff for a long time, but never crept high enough to the top. Thanks a lot, After Years.
Well, I mean, Chard, why play an RPG when you can play Dragon's Lair for the NES? And I'm going to take
No.
quick minutes
There's
to shout out this
500
wonderful
hours of
poll.
D&D
No.
games I gotta play.
On
Apparently, on my list.
youtube.com/@pressme-to-cancel, I put up a very poll that's important to me spiritually. I need all of our viewers and listeners to go to that poll and fill it out on which you'd rather play more, all of the gold box D&D games or Dragon's Lair for the NES, if you had to.
I wish I had my Nicolas Cage on a popsicle stick right now.
Yeah,
Me
thank
too.
you.
Me too.
All right.
We could all use the googly eyes at this point.
That's what we have in Canada, is all googly eyes. Who wants to go next? Chard? You know what? Just take a seat. Eddie, you're the guest. How about you go next? What's your runner-up pick for Game of the Year of 1997?
I'm going to go with a game that's very important to me in my history with my friends back on this 4-player console in 1997. I enjoyed space shooting as a fox and all his friends in Star Fox 64.
Let's go.
Man,
Yeah.
what a
Great game.
good game. First game with Rumble on a
Yep.
home console with the Rumble pack, came with it. I bought that version like day one, and it had an amazing single player campaign with a variety of different paths you could take through the Lilat system from planet to planet, all of which had their own little hooks, their own little unique differences, and different styles of progression through them, with warps and stuff in between to go different ways. And then it had the whole multiplayer mode that I spent tons of time playing with my friends, just
yeah.
blasting each other out of the sky. It was basically the closest thing you could get to playing like Independence Day, the game. And I was
Yeah.
never super into
Yeah.
space shooters like this, but this one, it's just very special because, like, you know, the behind the ship perspective is really good.
Right.
It's different, it's unique. It has like an arcadey feel to it. And I mean, I could talk about it forever, I guess, but to sum it up, I just think that it really achieved the vision that they were going for in the first game. Like the first game being
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
literally the wireframe of the game they wanted to make, and then they got the better hardware, and they're like, "Oh, now we can make the game." I don't know what that other thing
Right.
was,
For
but
sure. They
real big success.
shoehorned 3D into the NES beyond just mode 7. They shoehorned 3D in, and then yeah, absolutely, the 3D hardware in the 64 really, I mean, it was kind of almost seemed like it was made for Star Fox. And this game
Yeah.
also has a place in my heart because there are tunnels.
Yes. We love our tunnels. No, I played the heck out of this. And Star Fox 64 is incredible pick, and it's a really fun game. And I too played the heck out of it as a kid with my friends chasing each other down in the battle royale map, and having the 3D, the fights that you have with like Wulff and his team and all that stuff,
Mhm.
and the single player missions. This one's really cool. I dig Star Fox 64. This is and
And the
having your
voice
first set of
acting.
haptics.
It's
Yeah,
great.
there's
Yeah.
there's some great stuff out of that one that came out of the N64. So we may not talk
Mhm.
super positively about the N64 all the time, but this is definitely top of the list on there.
Yeah, I know I'm on the other side of the coin a little bit in that I'm not a huge fan of Star Fox, but I have played through not the Super Nintendo one because I suck. But I've played through all three, well, two of the remakes, the N64 one and the Wii U one. And so the N64 one, I do remember borrowing this from a friend, playing through it, and having get-togethers with friends. And if we didn't want to play Mario Kart, and that group of friends wasn't super into GoldenEye, it was either Mario Kart or Star Fox 64 multiplayer. And the multiplayer in 64 was pretty fun, actually. A little limited, but a lot of fun. But yeah, I do remember the story and the voice acting and the rumble and all that. Like this one was one of those game changer games for the consoles.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. The voice acting, I love, and how it kind of lives rent free in my head, right? Like, do a barrel roll. We all know
Do
the
a
line.
barrel roll. Yeah.
Even if you
who
haven't played the
doesn't?
game, I think most people heard the
I mean,
line.
you can type that into Google and it'll spin.
Spin the screen.
Yeah.
around.
Right?
But it got to
Just
the
the
point
fact
where
that
like,
voice acting existed on a Nintendo 64 cartridge,
Yeah.
yes,
right?
Yeah,
right,
that it had the room.
Yeah.
And it was
Still-
good. Like even
it was
if it was
good.
corny, like it was good voice
Yeah,
acting.
but it was good for
Yeah,
It's not PS2 voice acting. It's actually got some merit to it.
bad acting. No, it was great. But when they did the remake recently, I got annoyed because they changed the tone of the voice acting in the remake, and it annoyed me more than I thought it would because I liked the original N64 line delivery. I thought it was so much better.
Mhm.
But it's a solid game, and I was worried because when the remake came out, I debated whether I was going to buy it because of how short the game is. So I went back to play the N64 game, and I played several hours of it. It is not as short as I remember it being, right? Especially if you spend the time to get the medals on each of the stages and
Mhm.
exploring
the
the multiple
options, the
pathways.
paths.
There's a lot there in
Yeah.
that game. It's a pretty solid game, and I would say it's one of the best on the console, hands down. Like it's a really
Yeah.
terrific N64 game.
I heard you beat it in a lunch though, Jake.
Well, much like Mario Sinistar, you can beat it in Orange Brick. It's not that long.
And
but
and
so much
Marble
more.
Madness. Yeah.
That's 3
Yeah,
minutes.
but there's like 27
Kirby's on
different
that
ways
list
to
now.
go through the system. So
Yes.
All done
And
on lunch.
secrets, like you
it's
mentioned,
longer,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I showed my daughter in the remake, the second stage is like warps, but you have to go through the gateways correctly the first time. The first time I did that in front of her, she was like floored. Like, this is what real video games look like. Back in the
Mind
day.
blown.
Pretty awesome. All right, good
Nice.
pick. Good pick. All right.
Did I
who wants to
steal
go
that
and-
from anybody?
No, we don't
No.
steal
Okay,
picks
good.
here on this podcast. Nobody would ever do that.
What?
So and to
Oh,
make sure
that
Yeah,
we're not
then
gonna
we
do that-
don't.
Okay.
If I
Just
didn't
one
flip my
person
desk,
does.
then you're good. We're good.
It's fine. All right. Well, to make sure nobody steals picks, Chard, how about you wait one more round? Sinistar, how about you give us your runner-up?
All right.
There's a
My
theme.
runner-up-
Do you see the theme? There's a theme here.
Yeah. Now, my runner-up. So, I absolutely adored this game in 1997. I remember it felt revolutionary in the worst way ever, and that was Carmageddon.
Hmm.
It felt revolutionary because, like, even though there had been violence in video games, it did not feel like Carmageddon level violence. And
Yeah.
like you were given bonuses for taking out pedestrians. I mean, so this game actually came out of originally it was going to be licensed for, I don't remember. It was a couple games. One of them being the upcoming, Death Race 2000 that one didn't make it into production. So they lost the licensing. So they made their own. The team apparently was sitting around one day and got bored playing racing games and said, "Hey, how would it be if we just made destruction, including people destruction?" And this game was it was better than it deserved to be. First, in the first expansion, it was one of the first 3DFX supported games for the time, and you had the ability to upgrade cars. You had the ability to get upgrades to harm pedestrians and other cars. I remember in particular the lightning gun was one of my favorites. You could win the races in one of three ways. One you never did, which was complete the circuit. One was destroy all the other enemy cars, and one was destroy all the pedestrians. So, the controls were tight. The graphics were actually really good for the time. It much like the Saturn era. It was that 3D kind of that tight polygon, game. You had two characters that you could select. I can't remember the dude's name. It was Mike something. And then what the lady was like, it was a pun. I can't remember. Anyway, it was like something destruction or something. But anyway, great game. And
Max
apparently,
damage and
max damage.
Diana.
Thank you. Diana, that's what it was.
That's A
Yep.
plus
Beautiful.
right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's
No, I mean,
upgrades in this game. I didn't know there was
is.
upgrades in Carmageddon.
Yeah.
I never realized
Uh-huh.
that.
Yep.
I just thought it was the game you
Yep.
ran people over. That's the legacy of that
Yeah.
game is the violence. It was never about the gameplay. I'm surprised
Right.
it was a good game underneath. It's great and it plays well. That's interesting.
And as good as it was, Carmageddon 2 was even better. I mean, that came a year later. And surprisingly, I learned this today, things I learned today. There is a roguelike Carmageddon that was released this year called Carmageddon
Wow.
Rogue Shift.
Was it good? Is another
Yeah.
question.
It got negative reviews initially, but the recent reviews are positive. So it's gotten a number of updates. Yeah.
Is that an official Carmageddon game or is it just like a spiritual successor or?
It's got the Carmageddon label, so they got licensing of some sort.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
probably picked it up from Saudi Arabia, from EA.
They're
Like you
buying
Gotta
everything
get on
else.
that and report back.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
do.
It's interesting because like violence in video games has definitely been a weird trip, right? From everything from Carmageddon, Postal, all the way up to Mortal Kombat. So like I've always felt there's a place for all kinds of games, right? And that's why the age ratings is so important, right? So for
Yeah.
games like Armageddon. So as much as I don't like the violent video games myself, I'm fine. Like if the gameplay is there and it fits with what they're trying to tell, then that's fine to me. But it's interesting that there's in-depth mechanics like upgrades in a car murder simulator. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect weapons. That's interesting. And,
Yeah.
when I was looking at-
I love that little driver camera in the corner. Every
Yeah.
time you do something, like freaking out, like or run somebody down, he just leans back in excitement.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep.
This is a game I've never played, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
I
was
haven't
so
played
good.
it either.
Do not mistake it for there was a console version. I think it was actually on the 64. It is not good. It is
Yeah,
not
that's
good.
the one that I played. It was not good.
Yeah.
You probably don't run over people in the N64 version, knowing Nintendo. You probably run over like robots or something.
They turn
Well,
into
They-
puddles of
in-
water.
They did censor it in a number of countries and made it green blood spewing zombies.
As you do.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep,
that fits.
As you do.
that's the move.
All right,
Yeah.
interesting pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Who we got left? Chard, you want to go next?
I'd love to. I mean, I'd like to be part of this podcast too, because everybody else is having such a wonderful time.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're ready, I don't want to rush you. Go ahead.
Am
What's your
I-
runner up?
Am I the special guest tonight? How's it going? We're gonna go back to space simulation and space simulation fighters. This was a game I was so freaking excited when it was released and it came out and I bought it day one, and I absolutely adored this game. I played the ever living crap out of it, but it took me about, I don't know, a couple hours to realize that you had to propel the ship forward by accelerating, and it didn't just go forward like it would on a controller or something. I played the hell out of this on a joypad on the Sidewinder that we've talked about because I got mine with Descent, and this game was after that. But it is X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Yeah,
Nice.
this game was badass. I played the hell out of this game. I kamikazed Star Destroyers. I did all kinds of shit. You can play with the TIE Interceptors. You can play with the TIE Fighters. It made that cool little howling sound when you were driving around. And you
Yep.
could also jump over and play on A-Wings and Y-Wings and X-Wings, and you just do dogfights day in and day out. It was an absolute blast. Fun fact, did you know that this game was so well received? It got a 90 out of 100. And it was like one of the 14 best-selling computer games in 1997. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
With all the games that came out in 97, that's some
Yeah.
pretty high marks.
That whole
So-
series, the X-Wing
Yeah.
and TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, that whole series was excellent.
I absolutely
Excellent.
adored X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I played the X-Wing one, I played TIE Fighter by itself, and then they merged them together. And I was just kid in summer, because this came out in May. We were getting out for summer school. I was sweating in my California home, just flying TIE Fighters all over the place at 110 degrees outside. Did not care. Touch grass? Not today, son. I got an Empire.
Yeah. Yep. I got to go take out a Corvette. Let's go.
Yeah. And when you
Yeah.
run out of missiles, you're just like, oh, let's fly into it. And you just
Yep.
fly into it. Then you watch all the pieces blow off of the ship. Man, it was cool. This was
Yep.
really, really cool rendering and a lot of fun. I guess they were going to do a remaster at some point in 2009. And they said they were they were pretty far into it. And then they just canceled the project altogether, which really makes me
Oh
sad.
man.
Yeah.
Hate when
I
that
feel
happens.
like Night Dive has been doing a lot of remasters of PC classics lately. That's one of the licenses I wonder if they would ever get their hands on. They would do an awesome job with it.
Heck
they did
yeah.
such
Man,
great
this
work.
would
I
be
think
cool.
they did System Shock, right? You guys were raving about that.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
I never did play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, but all my friends who had PCs at the time raved about that game. This is one of the ones they always talked about. I think instead of
Mhm.
Sidewinder, they used to use the joysticks, not
Mhm.
HOTAS, but just a joystick to play these
Right.
games, and I was always jealous. So a game I should probably go back to. It might be a Sisyphean pick for me in the future.
It's
It's
fun.
so
it's
good.
it's really
And-
cool.
And great campaign too. The campaigns in those games were always good. They, you had missions to go, take out this thing or go. Yeah. I mean, yeah, just,
Yeah. Story was great. There was like its own standalone story that it followed the universe, of course, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
spot on. It's just really neat. And you'll find yourself, if you do end up playing it, you're going to find yourself doing this a lot. Get up! Get up! Because there's always something tracking you down and you got to fly behind it.
Yeah.
And you're doing your own barrel rolls, and you can play. There was the behind the ship view, and then there was the inside the cockpit view as well. And it was cool to be in the classic TIE fighter or X-wing looking out the window. You're like, oh my god, I'm in the movie. Like it was just really cool. It was really
you realize that the TIE fighters, like, they won via quantity, not quality, because they had no armor,
garbage.
Like no armor, right?
Yeah. You get an interceptor. It was all about speed and maneuvering. It had nothing. The only thing that was strong was really the bombers. Those were the best ones. But they were like boats. Like they were terrible, terrible for maneuvering. But it was a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool pick. Awesome pick. Yeah, I got to play that one. Okay, so for runner-ups, I guess I'm next. I got to look at my picks because I didn't steal anybody's picks this time. See, I don't steal you guys' games all the time.
Wait, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
We'll see.
Pretty sure. So my runner-up it's a tough choice, but I'm going to go with Ultima Online, which came out in 1997. Was it the first MMO? No. But it's probably arguably one of the most impactful ones, one of the most important ones, and it's a game you can still play even today, as I found out this week as I reinstalled Ultima Online. I was playing on my Steam Deck, which is a trip. If you want a good time, try and play Ultima Online on a 4K monitor. I recently got a nice new monitor, and it's huge. And playing Ultima Online on a 4K monitor is like a little postage stamp.
Letterbox.
Crap on the screen.
You need your reading glasses.
I think that game rendered at max 640 by 480.
Yes.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they did an enhanced client a number of years later, but I mean, for the purpose of this episode and me playing it, the nostalgia was the original pixel graphics. I had to play it that way. There is, for anybody who wants to play it, Taz UO, and there's also Classic UO. These are, I guess, remakes of the original client. I guess they reverse engineered the UO, and they've done a take that will support high res screens. So you can play on a 4K monitor and you can zoom in. It's pixelated, but that's what you want for a game like this. So there's ways to play it. And it runs great on Steam Deck. There's a Linux client that's native, so it literally just logs in and works right away. It's awesome. And then there's also a pretty healthy community of private servers that are also all free. So I was playing on UO Live, which has a good community, friendly community. Somebody gave me a free unicorn just because I was new, which is very nice. The unicorn sadly died as I wandered into a cave, got ambushed, and Sprinkles unfortunately died on me, which is a shame. Because UO was hard, as I relearned this past week. This game was not
very much so.
Yeah. So, and what I found interesting about this, it is an MMO, but it's like a top-down perspective. Honestly, Sinistar might know more than me, but isometric. But it feels fair in the style of what Ultima was doing in the standalone single-player RPGs. And in terms of Sinistar's giving me a finger. Oh, he's pointing at his shelf. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but
get your bingo cards out.
A lot of what I know in terms of lore of Ultima, like Lord British, the virtues, and all that kind of systems, honest for me comes from Ultima Online. I never played the original single player game, so for me it was UO, and there's a lot of here that's I think is faithful to what the franchise was doing, just in an online form. You could adventure with other people you came across, but I was shocked to see how many things, like how in depth the crafting was for a game from '97 in an MMO. Like, to give you an example, if you want bandages to heal yourself, you can go to a sheep, you not swing your sword, but use your sword on a sheep, and you get wool. You can then take the wool to a wheel and spit it into yarn, turn the yarn into cloth, and then scissors. You actually have a scissor item to cut the cloth into scraps of cloth, cut the scraps of cloth into bandages. There's a whole process to make bandages.
You died after you sheared the sheep because it takes so long.
Yes,
but you could do it.
You could do it. Yes, or you could just buy them from the in-game vendor.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, you could also just like find a cloth clothing and cut that up, and that would become.
Can you cut clothes? That makes a lot more sense now, actually. Okay.
So if you got like tattered clothes that you were trying to craft and it didn't work out, just cut them up, make them bandages.
That's like, see, they don't make games like this anymore. They don't, especially MMOs. You don't see this in World of Warcraft. It's crazy.
the other thing about this is much more than most MMOs. There was this whole land ownership and like fiefdom and like, I mean, it was you had your castle and you had your land and you had, and there was defense and there was, I mean, it was it really was a living MMO.
Mhm.
So
That was the one thing that was pretty interesting too, is the idea of home ownership in a video game, in an MMO. And that's the player housing is, I feel like, something that modern MMOs have been chasing and have never gotten quite right, that Ultima Online did. Because you're right, Sinistar, you and Wulff, you build your house in the world next to other people's buildings. You have player-made towns that can spring up anywhere on the map. So depending on the server or shard you're playing on, the town layouts can be totally different. And with that, house ownership means you can also have a vendor sitting out front. You can put crafting things that people can use. It really did feel like ownership of the server. Like, it really did feel more of a community than you get, say, playing World of Warcraft. And I like World of Warcraft and EVE Online and stuff, but I don't feel any of them capture the same essence of a community or a town that Ultima Online has done. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's like a custom living world.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But the most impressive thing is that you didn't have to jump through all kinds of hoops just to play it today. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah,
It
no,
was just a single download, and it works great on the Steam Deck almost out of the box. Like, there's a few things I changed, like macros and controls and stuff to support a controller, but it worked pretty flawlessly. I was quite impressed.
Yeah. That is not the typical experience trying to play a mid to late 90s PC game.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
thankfully, I mean, you either go to GOG, who's done all that work for you,
Yeah.
you know, or you spend hours making it work,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
finding a patch or this, or running it in an emulator,
Cool.
etc. Right?
Yep.
But
Wasn't it still active as of a couple years ago? I don't know I don't know if it's still active. It might
no, it
be.
still is.
Actually.
It's still active.
Yeah.
It got
Wow.
it got an expansion a while ago now. I want to say like 7 years ago, maybe before the pandemic. It did get a small expansion a while back, but the official servers are still live. I think they got a handful of official shards. They do have a free to play option on those shards, but you're limited in bank space and characters and whatnot, which is, it's owned by EA now. So that's what EA is going to do. They do similar with Star Wars as well. So that's fine. But then the client and then the server was reverse engineered decades ago. So like it's had private shards for a long time, and the quality of those kind of ranges whether how well they run. But there's definitely a handful, like Outlands, UO Alive is the one I played on, was fantastic. There's a few really great small shards of servers to play on. And again, it's neat because the experience is going to be different depending on where you play. Some of them have added custom dungeons, like the one I was playing on. They did a little bit of a revamp of New Player Island in Ultima, which is the thing. They added a special dungeon that is more like the main world dungeons to kind of give new players a taste of what dungeons can be like in UO. Because I quickly found out when you leave Newtown Island or New Player Island to the mainland, you get lost real easy. You go through Moongate and you spend, if you don't keep track of where the Moongate is, you get lost and just a sea of trees. That world is big. And it's pretty interesting. But yeah,
I don't remember if UO had this, but you know, most of the standalone Ultima games, the Moongates also changed based on, you know, the moon phases and the time and of, you know, etc.
Yeah,
so,
this one they don't change, thankfully.
Okay, good.
Which is good.
Yeah, I don't remember them changing. Usually if you mouse over it on private servers or free shards, whatever, they'll tend to mark where it'll go to. At least I've seen that on a few. But usually it'll just say Moongate. You just kind of have to know which one goes where. And hopefully when you get to the other side, if it was the wrong one, there's one back. Sometimes there's not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But,
the last time
yeah,
I played UO was probably 2002. So it's been a very long time.
I think the last time I played was maybe 2017-ish.
Well, that's not too far off, actually. So it's, I think, go back to like 1997. There's nothing quite like UO ever, right? Like there was Meridian was the first MMO, but I don't think enough people played Meridian. But I think for a lot of people, this was pretty groundbreaking of what a game could be. So, and I guess the impact is still there. You still have folks playing it now, right? So
yeah.
It had a huge community too. Like you get games with big communities where they're making fan art and doing wild stuff, and UO had that where they were like doing radio shows before podcasts were a thing, where they would like record an episode and talk about the events and happenings of whatever shard they played on. So major news stories of that shard and things like that. And then there was like people were making parody songs of like "Hey Dude" instead of "Hey Jude"
Nice.
about UO. So like I had a cousin who was super into this game back then. So I got to sort of experience a lot of secondhand from him and playing horribly myself. So I didn't get very far on the actual shards, but I have played quite a bit on free shards.
Yeah, the
Nice.
thing with the original was it was almost painfully slow to level your skills, and it was
Mhm.
and
Oh,
once
yeah.
you were invested in your skills, it was hard to change it back. Whereas on the modern shards, a lot of them have faster skill game, which is fine. Like UO Alive is like I think it's 5 times faster, but the progression for their server is more on gear as you explore all the dungeons. So it's not exactly 1-to-1 of what it was in the 1997, but you know, it's a different time. I don't have 50 hours a week to play an online game anymore, so I'm appreciative of what they've done with it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, now let's go to our game of the year picks, the top picks for 1997. Who do we start with? Chard? Would you like to start?
I mean, I could, but I didn't start. I think Wulff started, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
Ritz, you're right.
I did.
Wolf, what's
Yeah.
your game of the year pick?
I've got Klonoa.
Like a coffee liqueur
I-
or
As the
something?
magazine advertisement said back then.
I think I
Um,
found
The
an
doctor
ointment
about
for
that.
Yeah.
I have an unction for that or whatever.
Burns when I Saturn.
No,
Yeah.
no, this was a
What-
PlayStation game, not a Saturn game.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
This was a 2D platformer from Namco that was not something that was really on my radar. I remember seeing the ad and thinking, the hell is this game? Because it was a really bizarre magazine ad. But eventually I ended up renting it and fell in love with this game. I 100%ed it during that rental. I think I had rented something else along with it, and I didn't even touch that one. This was after I finished this, I went to the back of a magazine and had the soundtrack ordered from Japan. I went to this is a game that I absolutely adore, and it's a 2.5D platformer. So it's all on rails, 2D rails. But most of the gameplay is 2D platforming, and the world around you is 3D. And so he traverses back and forth, and sometimes you'll circle around and go higher, and you can interact with things in the background and things like that. And then all the characters, at least in the PlayStation version, were sprite based. So it's another one of those, sprites in a 3D world kind of thing. I got a
Right.
soft spot for that style.
Mm.
That style is pretty awesome, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
I do.
dope.
Yeah, and the game looks cutesy as hell, but it's actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you just try to jump back in out of nowhere. Because I did that this morning. I have it on Steam. I went and jumped back into my file that I had last played, and it was like right in the middle of the game, and I was terrible at it. I was having a rough go, but as soon as that music started playing, I was all in.
How are the
this
controls
was
in this one? Because like platformers
They're
for me live or die
on-
by the controls, like the physics of it. Like is it like closer to Mario, or is it something unique? How does it feel?
It's not a fast platforming. It's there's a fair amount of precision platforming, especially later in the game. But the Klonoa does not run fast. It's a very moderate speed, and then when he jumps and tries to get a little more distance in the air, he slows way down when he does I guess the equivalent would be the Yoshi flap. And so
Would you say it
it's
feels a little Crash Bandicoot-y in a
no,
way?
no.
No.
I never really got into Crash Bandicoot, and Klonoa I adore. But no, it kind of resonated a little more with me as like Knights, but if it were on the ground instead of
That's
flying
what I
through
was
the air.
thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
With less flying.
Mhm. But it's sort of like the levels are usually way bigger than you'd expect them to be. And as you get later into the game, there's a lot of backtracking here and there in one stage, unlocking things to allow you to get further along in the level. So you might have to unlock a door to turn on a giant crank to make it to where you can go back to the beginning of the level and ride an elevator that wasn't working before. And then you jump up and then you end up fighting a boss. And there's a boss every second level, I want to say. So it's they don't shy away from giving you bosses. And I mean, there's only 12 stages, I think, maybe 13.
That's still decent for a platforming game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the later levels take you about an hour a piece.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Save system then, or passwords?
It saves between stages and you get checkpoints during the level. But if you quit, you quit. You have to start the level over again.
Yeah, I think I missed out on Klonoa. And like a lot of like for 96, 97, we had the 3D mascot platformers. So I feel like some of the 2D ones that came out kind of got overshadowed, but I would like to go back because I prefer 2D platformers over 3D, and I feel like I missed out on this one.
Yeah, these were cool. It was a really interesting kind of design philosophy as far as the environments, right? Because like they built this 3D world, but had you go through it essentially in 2D, like you're on a roller coaster track, going whichever way they want you to. And then they made the sequel, which expanded on it, which was really cool. I played that recently. A lot of fun.
Yeah, Lunatia's Veil was also really good. I remember liking that one. That was the one that had the silly song when you're snowboarding or surfing down the mountain. Waffy waffy doo.
The 90s and our snowboarding songs.
Well, because Klonoa speaks a made up language. So there's an entire song that Klonoa is singing in the made up language.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's pretty funny. But I love like the whole game is voice, like especially in the remaster. It's all voice acted, but it's all gibberish, kind of like Sims.
Yeah, I was gonna say Simlish, right?
Yeah, so you got the characters all saying their stuff, but you have no idea. But you got the text boxes translating it.
There's a Howard Jones song that was done in Simlish and every time I hear the Howard Jones song, I'm like, all I hear is the damn Simlish.
I had that for a while too. That was Things Can Only Get Better.
Things Can Only Get Better. Yep.
Wow.
There was also Too Shy by Kajagoogoo.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some games where I wish if they can't commit to the full voice acting, and I understand like there's a lot of reasons why, then give me the gibberish. Give me the jibber jabber, right? Like Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. Give me that if you need to. I just like having some kind of character voice of some kind, even if it is made up, just to kind of help with the character the audio. All right, good pick.
The Klonoa voices, though, they're kind of weird. Like they kind of
they
give me the willies a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, because Klonoa's all wow. And then Hupo, the little blue guy that lives in his ring, it's like the really, really high pitched voice. And then you meet the other dude that looks kind of like Klonoa in the first area, and all he's,
Nice.
They're funny voices. The Granny was the one that I saw today, and it's like a really bad attempt at making an old woman gibberish sound.
Nice.
And stuff. All right, good pick. All right, Eddie, how about you? What's your game of the year for 1997?
Well, the best game of 1997, obviously.
Wow.
GoldenEye. I don't know why I had to stick with the two Nintendo 64 games, but that's where we are. I think I just didn't want to steal anyone's game with my other pick. So
we don't do that here.
GoldenEye
It's
007, I don't think there's any argument that GoldenEye 007 was the best first-person shooter of its time and still holds up in 2026 with perfect, very easy to use controls.
That third hand comes in handy.
I don't think I've played GoldenEye in about 20 years, if not more.
You might not want to, depending on how you feel about those Nintendo 64 controls.
We recently did an episode on the 64, and I think those of us that were there, we gushed about this game. This game is
it's so good.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I've talked about my memory of like 2 o'clock in the morning when I would do sleepovers with my friends, and we would be playing slappers only. And it would be like, just you'd be rolling on the floor because it was slappers only,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cowboy up.
Yeah.
Grab your 6-shooters. Cowboy up. We went to a very 4-H rural high school. So my friends and I were always cowboying up when we grabbed the 6-shooters and
Nice.
chase each other down.
Nice.
You know what's amazing about the multiplayer in this game? It was they wanted to put multiplayer in, and then they didn't have enough time, so it got pulled out of it. And then when the game was nearing completion after like a 2-year development cycle, they decided to add it back in secret. Didn't tell Nintendo, I guess, is the publisher. And just kind of sprung
Let it
it
happen.
on the higher ups at the last minute. And they were like, okay, I guess it's in. But they were already late because they started development in 95, and it
Right.
just
Yeah.
took a really long time. It was a development team of like 11 people.
Yeah.
That's
And
Wow.
really?
they had
Oh, wow.
never made a video game before except for
Whoa.
the director of the game.
Wow.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of what they put in there was like, yeah, this would be cool. Let's do it.
Right.
They didn't know that they couldn't, so they did.
No, can you imagine if that game had come out without the multiplayer? I mean, it would have been a
It
good
would have
game.
been
The
probably
campaign-
forgotten though.
Fine.
The campaign
Yeah,
would
would
have
not
been,
have lingered.
Yeah, the campaign would,
Yeah.
be, but it would not be talked about in
Yeah.
2026,
No.
right?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the main thing that people like really got into it about, and that was its enduring legacy, almost didn't make it.
That's
But I
crazy.
will say that the single player is excellent for a
Oh, yeah.
lot of reasons. Like the way that
Mhm.
they added objective based missions was kind of like special. It wasn't just a
Yeah.
corridor shooter. They had, legitimate 3D environments. They built worlds. Actually, when they designed it, they decided to build the areas first, just as like a cool place
Oh,
to
nice.
explore. And then they said, okay, now we'll put in the objectives, and now we'll put in the
cool.
starting and the ending point. And
Nice.
they built it out that way. And they actually were influenced a lot by Super Mario 64 with, having the
Interesting.
different objectives in the thing. And the way that
Kinda
it
see
ramps
that.
up is really cool too,
Yeah.
because it's not just like everything gets harder. It's, on Agent, you do maybe 2 things. Then on Secret Agent, 3 things. On Double
Right.
Agent, 5 things.
Right.
Really cool, really good dynamic difficulty system.
And-
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And all those like doing it on harder modes gave you unlockable things that usually just gave you silly stuff to do in multiplayer.
Yep.
Gold
Yeah, every
PP7.
level,
Love it.
yes. But every
know.
single level had something to unlock, and it was a speed run essentially. And
Yeah.
some of them were really hard. Like, what is it? Like the archives in like a minute and 20 seconds or something.
Right.
The
I can
facility.
never do that one.
Yeah.
I did
Wow.
all of
Dude.
them. I did every single
did at
one
one point too.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This was my
Nice.
game. I was deadly. If we played remote mines, you were blowing up
Uh-huh.
without
yeah.
without understanding what even happened, because I was
Yep.
watching your screen. I never even
Yep.
looked at my screen. I was
Yep.
only watching everyone else's screen.
Stream
Yep.
sniping.
I-
I know
I
what that's
did-
about.
I did that later with Halo on
Yeah.
split screen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I know for
Such a good
a
game.
lot for the time, a lot of folks would point at, well, we have that on PC with the shooters on PC, and there's a lot of great PC shooters as well. But there is still something special about GoldenEye and 64. Like putting aside the multiplayer, which I
Mhm.
think is legendary for that game. I can't imagine that game without the multiplayer. But the single player campaign, like as you said, the adding of more objectives, different objectives depending on the difficulty, I think is pretty unique. And I think the environments were more interactable than what you would see on comparable shooters in the PC. Like I think that game is quite good regardless of the platform. I know
Yeah.
when there was rumors of an Xbox 360 port at some point, and then it kind of disappeared. I was really sad because that game is
Mhm.
one I wish could have been remade, because I have a lot of fond memories of the N64 game, but I just wish we could see that game in higher fidelity. But I know it's like a
Yeah.
licensing mess because you have the Bond
Yeah.
estate and all that stuff. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
what a fantastic game. Except the escort
Excellent
mission.
game.
I hate the escort mission. Great pick.
Yeah. It is a fantastic pick.
Great.
Mhm.
All right. Sinistar, how about you? What's your PC game of the year of 1997?
Well, I think it's a hidden gem. I don't think anybody's heard of this series or these games, but it's a little known game called Fallout.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, for those that are unfamiliar, there's this whole concept of the vaults, and you're a vault dweller. And this is post-apocalyptic, Wait, you've played this game, Chard?
I might have.
Yeah.
If not,
No.
I fake it real well.
Okay. No, so I mean, not everybody. A lot of people, a very large amount of people have at least played Fallout 3 or New Vegas or Fallout 4. Obviously, people are well aware of the television show, which has been excellent. But this is where it started. It's a top-down isometric. The team actually was a huge fan of the XCOM games, and so the combat is actually very similar to XCOM. Heavily turn-based, and
Percent-based, I think, right? For hitting?
Percent-based. Oh yeah, because I mean it used, just like the first person or third person games, there is an RPG element. There is like ROLL, not ROLE. There is a roll for like every shot you do, everything that you do. So this isn't where it started. It started with Wasteland, which, by the way, is still my Sisyphean game for this year on the Commodore 64. But they wanted to continue the series, and they'd lost the rights, and so they basically created the Fallout games from there, and it was Interplay and Black Isle. By the way, Interplay also was my other game producer, Carmageddon. So Interplay was massive in '97.
They were huge in the '90s, in the mid '90s.
Yeah. But and then what's really interesting, and I had kind of forgotten this. I looked up some of the info today, and the creators also based kind of the vault concept on a story by Harlan Ellison, who also did other games that have been, or other books that have been converted into games, like I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. But he wrote a novella called A Boy and His Dog, which is fantastic, later turned into a movie. But that was the basis for kind of the vault concept. And so, yeah. But great isometric game. Both 1 and 2 are great games. They're very simple in comparison to Fallout 3 and Beyond. Fallout 3 and Beyond really brought the story and the side missions to, kind of that next tier. But these games are absolutely great. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for Fallout, it brought out like the conversation system. I remember loving a lot because it had the attitude of the NPCs would actually change, right? They had clips of happy or sad NPCs. Like when they were annoyed with you, you saw. And like
leaning
the
into charisma.
Yeah, so the reputation system there was definitely a factor. Like, there's a lot of great ideas in Fallout that were used in other RPGs later on. Like, I really enjoyed I like the second one more, but it really came down to one thing, in that the first game is basically time limited, and you don't really quite realize that.
Right.
And when I first played the game, I ran into that limit, and I was very upset. And I never touched it again. But I played the hell out of Fallout 2. But I prefer that tactical combat. I love that tactical combat. And I do like Fallout 3 quite a bit, but I still like that top-down or isometric tactical combat. I think it's pretty great. It's one of the reasons why I like Final Fantasy.
Even in Fallout 3.
Yes.
Even in Fallout 3, I would constantly just use the VATS.
The
frozen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just try to shoot. You got to use the VAT.
Yeah, and I love the percentage system based on the body part.
That was a big grab for me too.
Yeah.
And like Fallout is one that
trying to shoot anything in first person mode in Fallout 3 takes way too much talent.
It tricks you. It's like, this is a first person shooter, but no matter how good you are, you're gonna suck.
Still percentage based.
Yeah,
even when you're shooting,
that's
right?
The XCOM coming out of it, right? You got a guy right on top of you, but I still seem to wing a dude with a shotgun, even though he's 2 feet in front of me. It's some silly stuff.
I was gonna say, at least when you go into VATS mode, the RNG is more realistic than XCOM RNG, XCOM RNG is the weirdest thing. 1% hit chance, you kill him. 99% hit chance, you miss like mad.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Golf scores.
Yeah. Please RNGesus. Please RNGesus.
Yeah.
I didn't have a PC until the tail end of 1998. And I didn't really get into PC gaming until probably mid 99. So I had like a couple of games my uncle gave me when he built the PC. And, it was like some ATV game, which it was fun, but it was nothing to like super special. But I had a friend who I met in high school after that, and he would talk about Fallout 1 and 2 all the time. And I had meant to play them for years and years and years, and until Fallout 3 came along. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just play this one.
And a vastly different game.
Completely different.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's fine.
But he showed me a fair amount, and I've read quite a bit about Fallout 1 and 2. So I know a lot of the basic core concepts of it and everything, but I never really gave it a fair shake.
I will say that the later Fallout 3 and beyond, even though the gameplay changed, the game concept and the game universe and the game feel stayed the same.
Yes.
So
yeah. The
Seemed like
vibe
a
of the
good
system is
adaptation to
definitely
3D.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yes.
It was nice to be put in the driver's seat of all of that in that world, the post-apocalyptic 1950s looking stuff. It was kind of cool. I like the isometric concept and the XCOM percentage, and I like the transition from 2 to 3, but putting it into a more personal view for you to play. I loved that, and I loved the choices you make, and I like, your decisions change what could happen or an outcome with somebody or something, and I dug that whole thing. Like, the combat's cool, killing mutants is fun, and robots and all that stuff, but having the conversations and making that path change was just a huge thing for me. I love choice-based stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the role playing, right? Few games actually do the role playing of role-playing games, but Fallout was always great at that stuff. Yeah.
Like, if you have a bad
And
day
the
at
choices
work,
feel like they
everybody
matter.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a fair amount of games that gave you choices back then, but they didn't really have much effect.
Right.
Yeah. The choices were on
somebody.
rails, right? It was like, oh, I picked this thing. Oh, they're angry at me. Oh, the menu came up and it's the same choices as before.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
it was not a tree. It was either you keep going on the freeway or you get off the freeway and right back on.
Right.
Yeah.
You just stop for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be angry about this one, and then he turns back to calm and talking to you again. You're like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. No, I adore the Fallout games. All of them. I adore them all.
My good ones.
I also appreciate that Fallout 1 is where Harold and Bob originated.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
And for those who don't know, Harold and Bob is the ghoul and the plant growing out of his head.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance you met him in Fallout 3 if you haven't played 1 or 2, where he is in the tree.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great lore series as well. So
Yeah,
for sure.
Huge. All right, great pick. Chard, I think, or no, that's Sinistar. Now we're at Chard. Sorry, I'm losing track. It's been a week, guys.
Yeah.
I'm running low on caffeine.
Chard, wait until Chard's turn is over with.
Just a check. Yeah.
Chard,
Okay.
what's your game of the year of 1997?
It's gonna be a long episode.
Please and thank you.
Listen, I have referred to this game. This is a huge game, and there's going to be people out there that are like, heck yeah, I agree with you, and there's going to be people that are going to run me out on a rail. But you know what? I always referred to this game as the Beatles of this particular series. Yes, the Beatles did huge things for music. Does everybody like the Beatles? Not necessarily, but they can appreciate what this band did for rock and roll music and the likes moving forward, right? So my pick is Final Fantasy VII, which
Never heard of it.
bar none is
It's a hidden gem,
obviously
really.
it's a real hidden gem. Nobody's played this one. No, this is this is not my favorite in the series, but it is my favorite game of 97. And this game has spoke to a generation of people that all of us nerds were playing Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3 if they could get their Japanese versions, and then playing 4 and 5 and 6 subsequently after that, and dealing with Mystic Quest and the insult that was to us for that dropping in. But
it's another episode.
But then
Chard.
7
that game was good.
7
anyway.
hits. It's a good game. It's got a great.
I like
soundtrack.
Mystic. I like Mystic.
Just
Mystic
don't
Quest is
call
good.
it
But if
Final
you-
Fantasy.
Yeah,
I mean, listen,
That's fine.
That's
if you
fair.
want to play 5 and then compare it to Mystic Quest, then you feel a little insulted because 5's really good too. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not what I'm
Anyway.
picking. 7 is my pick. 7 brought this game into a 3D era. It brought it into the polygons. It may have not have aged great to some people, but to me, I still think this game is quite beautiful. It's not the best Final Fantasy in the PS1, but it is definitely the most memorable. This game has history and history and history. We got to watch a beloved character that we followed die right in front of us, and then spent years trying to find a way to resurrect this person, that there were hidden codes in the game, or there was something you could do to bring Aerith back to life. And you can't. There's nothing there. But even to this day, you watch Wreck-It
Yeah.
Ralph and you see Aerith Lives written on the walls of one of the
Yeah.
video game limbo stations. This game goes down in history. This soundtrack, one of the best
So
soundtracks
good.
in all video game history. This might be Uematsu's probably one of his top soundtracks that he has created,
Well, this
using the sound quality that he got, from PlayStation, which, Nintendo and PlayStation were kind of bedfellows for a little bit with their sound quality. But I have been listening to this soundtrack literally for the last 3 weeks in kind of preparation of this episode, and I cannot stop listening to it. It is so freaking good, and it's so awesome. And really, the story is good. You may not love Cloud, but everybody was angsty back in the 90s. You always
Yeah.
had your teenage angst characters. It was the times. And then
he
you
called-
get Squall
he
after
called-
that.
he called
There's
to
Cloud
me.
Jr.
I was early
I get it.
20s. He called to me,
Yeah.
right? No,
Lots of pain, and I get it. But I don't know. Everybody's characters just seem to have more depth than they did in 6. You
Yeah.
had a lot more story going on. You had, the disgusting world of Midgard, which, fun fact, this game was initially going to be set in a New York type setting.
Yep.
For those of you who
Mhm.
don't know that. And then they turned Parasite Eve into what
Parasite
this
Eve.
was initially going to be. So Parasite Eve was actually going to be Final Fantasy VII,
Oh.
which I believe Wulff dropped that hot information on us during our Parasite Eve episode. For
Yep.
those of you
I
who
did
weren't
not know
listening,
that.
and I kind of wanted to, show off for our guests that I might actually have done some research for this game.
Yeah, no, that was impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
No,
But,
this game,
yeah.
love or hate the concept. This game has such a legacy. There's movies based on it, and
Yeah.
the remake is 3 games, not 1. I mean,
Yes.
love that or hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But this has a legacy, right?
But 2026, this game is still vastly relevant, even
Mhm.
without the remakes. Even if the remakes never came back, this game would still be absolutely relevant. People would still be playing this game. The weapons coming out of the water, One Winged Angel is probably one of the most played tracks in any Final Fantasy soundtrack out
Mhm.
there. Not the greatest, but still a great song. I mean, people cried and wanted this remake to come more than anything, and they got what they got, and they love it. And this game just it's hard to place. I mean, I'm obviously a big Final Fantasy nerd. I love my Final Fantasy games, most of them. But this one just is forever. This will never die. Like the rest of the games in the series could probably drop off the face of the earth. I'll get some actually people pushing their glasses up telling me that Final Fantasy IX is bar none the better game out of the PlayStation 1 series. And you may be right, but it is not that. 10 is
It's
fantastic.
not 10.
You're giving me 10. 10 is fantastic.
Nobody likes 10.
I will agree with you and
Oh, my
partial,
God.
sir. We'll have talks offline. But I truly believe that Final Fantasy VII is the top game for me in 1997, and it still rings true to this day. It's a phenomenal gameplay. It brought forth so many people to the franchise itself that we got games like 10, and we got games like 9, and we got games like, whatever we did, and whatever Yoshi P is doing to the game. I hope he looks at Expedition 33 and goes, maybe we should do this. So Cloud's been in numerous other games on top of that. He was in that Air Guys, King of the Ring game. He was just like the mascot of PlayStation for a good chunk of
And
change.
Smash
and,
Brothers,
and an
isn't he?
RPG. And it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, And Sephiroth's in there too. I mean, they
Yeah.
brought Sephiroth out for one of the later Smash Brother games, and everybody was losing their minds about that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts, he plays a major role in Kingdom Hearts games. I mean,
Yeah.
what else can you say? I mean, who thinks an RPG character is going to be poster boy for an entire system? And he was for a good long time.
It's
So,
the only Final Fantasy game I've ever beaten.
yeah. And they've made
There you
demakes
go.
of this game. They've got obviously the remake that's coming out, the last of the
Not
three.
legit demakes, but yeah, they do exist.
You know, they're still, you know, but
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
Somebody made it.
It's the Beatles of the Final Fantasy series, and
I
either
can
you
go with
agree or
that.
disagree with me. But this
I can
definitely.
go with that.
I
It's
know
a-
I've crapped on 7 a few times over the years, but I've also always made sure to mention, like, I do think at the time, absolute amazing game. Like, I loved it that first time through. For me, Cloud is such a blank slate of a character.
He's a douchebag.
It allows you
He's a
to-
douchebag.
It allows you. He's kind of a douchebag, but he's like a mixture between like quiet asshole and like silent protagonist, right? He's somewhere in the
Right.
middle of that. So it allows you to experience the world as like this sort of amnesiac character who doesn't give a shit.
He's Chrono, but you
Like-
hate him.
Kinda. But
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
it lets you immerse yourself in the world in a way while also giving him lines and growth as the game goes on, at least to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Let's Mosey, but the first time through, the world building, I loved it. I loved so many of the characters, even Yuffie, who's obnoxious that first time through. It was fun to see her be obnoxious the first time.
But then you see
and
like where
so-
she comes from and the village, and then there's, like you said, there's a lot of character growth that kind of catches you off guard. That's pretty cool.
They created characters who had to grow throughout the game for you to actually like really appreciate who they are and who they become and all that. And I really appreciated that. And I thought the story was awesome back then. I have not been able to give it a second fair shake completely. I did play through some of it a second time. I think I've always joked that I like fall asleep in the reactor somewhere on subsequent playthroughs or never really make it out of
Midgar's just a tough
Midgar.
slog, man.
Yeah.
It's a tough
but
slog.
I did forget. I actually did get to a point where you get Red 13, and I renamed him Nanaki. And then you get to the point where you get to his hometown, and the lines where they're like, "Who's Nanaki?" are still there. Like you trip up the game, and it's just like they're talking about Nanaki and Nanaki as if they're separate creatures.
Right.
Right.
Nice.
No, I love this game, and it's really solid. It's a really solid RPG. It's a really solid induction into the Final Fantasy lordom, you know. And you know, the movies and all this stuff. This was like the first Final Fantasy that got like an extended life out of it, you know. They always made the next game just about whatever, but they came back to this. They made Advent Children. They made, you know, all the stuff that came after that. And though they may not be fantastic movies or great, they still carried the lore on. They still pushed it forward. And I just
They
think
still
that's
brought the
kinda-
soundtrack, which was just killer. Like Advent Children, I like the movie. Is it good? No, but it sounds really good and it looks really great. It's great CGI work.
Yeah.
Also, mechanically, the game was fun. I think the materia system is one of my favorite Final Fantasy systems. The idea of slotting spells into weapons and let you customize your party to do whatever you want. If you want Tifa to be your, like, she's the baddie with the ice spells, you can do that. You want Barrett to be the one who heals, you can do that too. I love how you can customize your playthroughs with this game. It's one of the things I liked in the remakes as well, as they kept the materia system, although they did change it a bit. But yeah, it's hard to go back to now for me because how long the game is. And I do think Midgard's a bit of a slog. That's why when we did an episode on the remake, I felt it was a mistake to have it and focused entirely on Midgard and expanded on Midgard because it was already too long. Like for me, the best parts of the game are the canyon and stuff and the stuff later on, right? Like Gold
Rebirth
Saucer and
plays
whatnot.
much better than the remake.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of gripping. I'm actually kind of like, oh, okay, I'm ready to keep playing this because I'm out of the bullshit that I didn't like in the first one. So
Yeah, I need to go back to Rebirth, but Final Fantasy VII's legacy is great. Like I will always love 6 more as my favorite, but for 97, I can't lie. I borrowed this game off a friend. I wanted to play it, and I love playing through it, and I certainly love it better than 8. So if I were to go back to a PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII is the one I would go back to. But that soundtrack, like you said, Chard, like that soundtrack is still holds up.
I
Even
was listening
today,
to it before we started.
It's a very
Getting
it's
into the
very good.
mood.
Nobody
It's
knows
a
what the
great
hell they're
soundtrack.
saying in the Sephiroth song, but it's still fucking a banger.
cares?
So it's really,
It's all
really great.
Latin. Just speak
Both
Latin. you'll be fine.
Sephiroth songs are great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those
Genova.
chosen by the
Oh,
planet is
God.
dope.
Oh, Joe's Chosen is such a dark tune. I love that tune.
That,
So good. I like
when I
Under
play
the Rotting
tabletop
Pizza
That's the one I'm
too.
RPGs,
thinking of.
Yeah, that bass line in Rotting Pizza, Under the Rotting Pizza is so fucking sick. It's so good.
Yeah. Great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the standouts for 97. Okay. It's just me. What pick did I steal?
It's all Final
Apparently.
Fantasy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Final Fantasy
Tactics.
VII. Final
Tactics.
Fantasy
Let's
VII.
talk tactics. A hidden
No,
gem
I
known as
love that.
tactics.
Tactics
Game
came out
you
the same
stole
year as
from
Final
me.
Fantasy VII. Don't think I wasn't tempted to pick Tactics, Chard. I know you
I know
love
you
that one
were.
so much.
And I
held
shit
just
all
for you.
over it.
Hidden gems.
It is crap all over it.
It did. The same year we got 7,
did.
we got Tactics.
Yeah. Tactics came
Like,
out.
really?
That's
The
wild that they
PlayStation-
were.
According to Moby,
I wonder
yes.
if Cloud and Aerith were a late addition to that game.
That's true
Yeah.
because they are
Must
hidden
have been.
characters in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, my pick is not Tactics. As much as I like that Tactics.
Oh,
for
in
me,
Japan.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's where
we
Moby
go by
Games will get ya.
Moby
Okay.
Games.
Moby
Moby
Games,
Games
yeah, they'll
rules.
sneak up on you.
Yeah.
But it was released
Yeah,
into the
Yeah.
world, just not ours.
Just not
Yeah,
ours.
yeah.
So one of my favorite genres is Metroidvanias. And maybe I feel like a lot of folks throw that term around and they don't know the origins of Metroidvania. But you can't have Metroidvania without a Vania, and the Vania that's often referred to as the granddaddy of it all is Symphony of the Night, which came out in
Hell
1997.
yes.
This is a game I go back
Yeah.
to all the time. Anytime I spin out the PlayStation core on the Mister behind me, it's usually I'm playing a few minutes of Symphony of the Night. I appreciate the NES Castlevanias, but man, is the PlayStation one the one I think of as the best out of all of them. So I love Symphony of the Night. I know a lot of you guys are fans
Agreed.
of that too. I think Eddie, I think you did
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole episode on it. So
I was gonna say sometimes podcasts have this game featured, and maybe you play along because we just did it
Yeah.
2 episodes ago, or
Nice.
Nice.
yeah, something
wow.
like that.
This
Yeah.
Very
was the
recent.
first game I badged on Retro Achievements. I freaking love this game. God, I love this game.
Yeah, so good. This was the first time I played it this year,
Nice.
and I was
God,
like,
so good.
"Damn, this is a masterpiece."
Yeah.
With flaws,
Wow.
yeah.
you know, it was still really good, even as a first play in 2026.
No, it's still
Excellent.
solid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things
Better than
of
half
this
the crap you got out there.
is how many secrets are in the game. Like you could play this game multiple
Yeah.
times and always find something new. But when I played this when I was younger, I stumbled upon, I guess, the combination of things you had to do to unlock the upside down castle, which is for those who maybe have
Mhm.
not played Symphony of the Night.
Same.
This game has 2 parts. There's the regular part, and then if you have certain conditions fulfilled, you get a whole other version of the castle, literally flipped upside down. It's upside down, and you get the rest of the game. It is a long game when you unlock it, but if you could easily beat this game and not even realize there's half a game still there waiting for you, and I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Now, do you think the inverted castle is the better part, or not as good as the main castle?
I think it's confusing as hell. Is it?
it is
I
confusing.
would
Getting lost in
say-
the
All
inverted
that all the
castles.
time.
Yeah.
Boss fights are better in the second in the
Yes.
inverted castle.
Okay.
Agreed.
The
That's kind of a
exploration
matter
is
of perspective.
the exploration in the inverted castle can be a pain point for sure, with the like hidden things that zoom out from behind the decorative
Mm.
tile work in like
Mm.
Marble Gallery, and just the amount of things that they're not designed to be platformed on
Right.
the
You're
roof.
sitting on a roof.
So
That's not a stair, right? Like
filling.
Mhm.
it's very confusing. And like you said, everything's backwards, right? So it's backwards all the time. So I would get absolutely turned around in the upside down portion of the castle because I was like, wait, I thought it was this way. No, it's that
Oh,
way,
yeah.
but it was this way when it was the other way around.
Right.
And it was just learning where all those positions were was my
Play the game
my
in a
biggest-
mirror.
Spent so long
Yeah,
building a
essentially,
mental
yes.
map of the
Yeah.
Yes.
of
Yep.
the castle.
I had that shit memorized. I beat it in an hour without
Mhm.
saves.
But by the time you get to the second part of the game there, you have all the movement traversal abilities, right? Like there's nothing
Yep.
else to unlock there.
Mhm.
And that makes traversal of the
Uh,
castle a lot easier. I
for
think
the
you
most
do.
part, yeah, I think you get there's something to do with mist. I think it's you get to you get the stay in mist form jewel in the
Okay.
inverted castle.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
but
that's just for the bars and stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the whole
Stuff,
traversal
anyway.
system that we think of when we think of Metroidvanias, there's always the physical abilities to unlock the next section of an area. That's the Metroidvania core, and Symphony of the Night has all that, right? With the different animal forms, different abilities for Alucard, and it's just fantastic. I also really
Sometimes
appreciate
just
the
armor.
cheesy lines. Like this is the area of bad voice acting or bad scripts, however you want to take it.
Yes.
I still dig it though. I
Die,
cannot play-
monster.
Yeah.
One could say of all religions. Like the lines are awful, but that opening, much like Star Fox, lives rent free in my head, and like I think about it all the time. I love the line delivery in that
What
game.
is a
It's
man?
So cheesy.
A
Yep.
miserable
Yeah.
pile of secrets. Splash.
I bet.
Yeah.
But it's
The
on top of
wine.
the extra castle. You can also enter a code to play as Richter through that game, and I've beaten the game as
Yeah.
Richter.
Mhm.
That is
So have I.
awesome to be able to play Richter in this kind of game. He plays completely different. There's no equivalent items,
Totally.
and it's hard as hell. And the way
Yeah.
you traverse
You
is
have
a
to
bit different.
uppercut fly everywhere in the inverted
Yeah.
castle. It's a big pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
But that it's even in the game is pretty
Yeah.
outstanding. Like there's other codes too. There's like a luck code and an axe armor code. Like there's a lot of really cool hidden secrets in this game, and enough to the point where you could play this several times and play it differently. And I think that's great. I also really dig how enemies have drops, but sometimes they have a rare drop that will drop a weapon. Like there's like more weapons than I think Elden Ring even has. Like there's just all kinds of different weapons, and they all feel different, right? The Chrism, the Jewel Sword, the Sword of Dawn, which actually summons undead creatures for a few seconds. Like all the weapons
Yeah.
are very unique and different feeling. And I feel like you could beat the game with it, just about any one of them if you really wanted to. And I think that's pretty awesome for a game like this. And I don't think we've had a Metroidvania that's been have that much scope in terms of the weapon and gear you get in a game. I think it's pretty unique and original. And I know there's other Castlevania, 2D Castlevania games. There's one in the GBA, which was interesting. And Konami had this thing with reusing of sprites, maybe too much in later
Mhm.
entries, but it's the original Symphony of the Night. I think it is a masterpiece, and like it's not perfect by any stretch. The voice acting, there's a few confusing parts, but overall, what an epic game. I just love this game.
I adore
good.
Symphony of the Night. This is such a
Yes.
great pick. It
Mhm.
was hard to not pick this one myself. I put a lot of work into this game, and this one I literally knew like the back of my hand for years after doing all the retro achievements and stuff for it. And I adore this game. I have never played a game so much chasing achievements in it that I was just like, I'll still go and play this again later. Like usually you
Yeah.
burn out and you're like, okay, I've done everything there is to do. I'm not touching it ever again. And then I fire it back up like 2 days later because it's like, I just got to scratch that itch. I got to backwards slide through the castle. I love this game. It's such a great game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
The
this is
soundtrack
one
too.
that I deliberately left because you guys gave me the first 2 picks for my games, and I was like, I gotta leave Symphony of the Night because that's gonna be like 4 other people's choice.
Yeah.
That's all.
We were all in tandem trying to figure out who was going to pick this one.
Yeah.
Chard
I
was
love
like,
this
"I'll
game.
take it," but I think Wulff is gonna want it.
Yeah.
I think this is
Jake
more,
announced
definitely
in
more.
the
of a
I
Wolf
waited.
game.
I was like, "Yeah,
I
I'll take
waited.
it," and then
And
When
then
did
Jake
you say you were
stole
going
it.
to take it. You never said anywhere you were going to take it.
I
can't keep
linked
track
in
of
the
this
Sinistar
chat.
quoted it at
I
you in
linked-
response. It wasn't in the conversation that we have this
I
group
just happy it was-
conversation.
I
had to be in the
Discord. It was
official
in there.
chat.
It's been a
Yeah,
week.
true,
I wasn't
that's
paying
true.
attention.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I took your pick. It's
Like I
fine.
said, it's fine. I got to shout out some lesser knowns. It's fine.
Listen, is
Um,
it
Is
a
there a
game of the
Brian
year
Lars
episode of
Cricket
Jake didn't
97? Did I
steal
miss a
somebody's
real hidden gem I
episode?
could have taken, or did I could have taken something else? It's okay. That's
But
okay.
yeah, Symphony of the Night's soundtrack was also amazing and did not rely on any previous tracks from the franchise.
Bloody Tears. So good.
So
Like,
Is it all you need?
But it wasn't in that.
Really like Vampire
got
Killer
it-
was
it-
not original.
No, they're in
Oh, okay.
Nocturne in the Moonlight, the Saturn
Huh.
re-release,
Okay.
and they're amazing in that one. But no, they were not in Symphony of the Night.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
And
would
Symphony
highly
of the Night
recommend.
has Wandering Ghosts, the best track ever. The one
I'm
in
trying to think of-
the arena, the Coliseum area, the
Oh,
like jazzy
yeah,
one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
love that song so
That's a
much.
killer.
Sounds a little
soundtrack.
bit like elevator jazz.
Yeah.
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 It's a good one.
From
I like
Muzak
that.
while you fight a Minotaur. Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Great.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
The hell of a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, 1997, it really was a hell of a year for games. Like when I looked at the list of Moby games, I couldn't believe how much was coming out, and it would have been hard. I was really worried we were going to miss something. I was worried we were going to miss Star Fox, or I think we missed. Diablo was on 97. Diablo was on my short list.
Yeah,
just
Diablo.
But I've seen it listed as December 31st, 1996, or January 3rd, 1997. So I don't know what Moby Games had it as.
I think it had as 97, but yeah.
I very nearly picked Diablo, but as much as I love Diablo, the two I picked were.
Yeah,
gotta go with Carmageddon over Diablo.
Oh, when there's a murder simulator like Murder in Cars or Murder with Swords, I'm gonna go with Cars.
Yeah, I was too busy flying TIE fighters into Star Destroyers to care about Diablo at the time.
Yeah.
Well,
remember,
if anybody's watching or listening, if you think we missed your favorite game from 1997, if you think we missed your favorite game 97, please comment below in this YouTube video or come join us on our Discord. Link is at pressbtocancel.com. There's a Discord link. Come join us and tell us how we're wrong. We love it when you tell us how we're wrong. It's our kink. Don't shame. It's fine. You can also find
yucky yum.
You can also find our episodes of our podcast over on YouTube at youtube.com/@pressbtocancel. We go live on YouTube and as well as Twitch every Friday around 9 p.m. Eastern, and then the audio episodes on the following Monday. But also, I would like to thank Eddie from Smashing Bricks. Thanks very much again for joining us this week. I really appreciate it. Glad you came with some absolute killer picks.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah.
Can you again shout out your podcast and where people can listen to your show? Because that's important.
You can listen to Smashing Bricks, a retro gaming podcast, anywhere fine podcasts are given away for free. You can go to smashingbricks.com and that has all the links. You can go on Apple Podcasts, whatever. Come join us. Listen, then you'll come over to the Discord, hang out, give us your picks for future episodes, do all that stuff. Play along. That's the most fun, is when you play along and you leave your commentary, and then I'll read it on the show, and we'll all talk about how we liked it, how it held up, that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm jealous of the monthly schedule because there's some weeks we do it weekly. It's intentional. It's pretty frantic. Yeah.
I'm looking to increase that to every 2 weeks, but starting the podcast, I was like, I want it to be chill. Plus I have to have guests, and that's a whole other job in itself, is getting everyone to come on.
Well, and you play an entire game as well, right?
Yes.
You don't have to play the whole thing, but like you play enough that you get a good understanding of how you feel about it, or whether it was worth playing.
Nice.
I can't speak for everybody, but you got 4 guests here, just saying.
Yeah.
Just
reach out. That's 4 episodes coming up.
There you
go.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, great. In terms of a Press B, we are also free. However, if you're listening and want to help support the show, you don't have to. But if you do have some spare dollars you want to throw our way for helping with hosting costs and whatnot, check us out on our Patreon, patreon.com/pressbtocancel. We have various tiers, usually Discord perks and behind the scenes videos and Discord channels. But also, if you back us at the Circus Charles tier, we shout your name out at the end of the show, and that is the 2 fine folks who are at that level, Vaughn Beardley and Enthusiast Jeff. Thank you very much for your support. We do appreciate it. We appreciate all of our Patreons. It's awesome to support us. Again, don't have to. Just shouting out the show to your friends and family or online really helps a lot. But if you have the extra dollars, it does go to things to the show. It does help make a bit. Podcasting is not free.
Yep.
It's free to listen, not free to make. So this helps a lot. Anybody else have anything they want to shout out this week?
I finished Baldur's Gate 3 finally.
Oh, GG's.
It's done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well done. Nice.
I had all of like 7 people at my campsite in the ending.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Which is apparently a very small amount of people. So I got a lot of people murdered.
Well, you were playing online with your friend for like a year, I think you said. Like it was a long haul.
Yes. We started June 20th of last year.
How did the crossover with Carmageddon work to get all the people murdered?
Yeah. It's an update.
Crazy. The DLC.
I'll be playing serious stuff tonight and this weekend, so you can come and hang out with me over at Chardmonk at twitch.tv and over at YouTube as well, same name. Gonna try some new stuff this weekend, and then we're gonna jump into Silent Hill Homecoming probably Sunday.
Ooh.
And and see how much we love that. We're getting ready for Townfall, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be jumping in through a lot of Silent Hills going into. I've got like 2 or 3 left before Townfall hits, and I've got less than a month, so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, so new indie horror game. You know me, just screaming at the TV. It's going to be a good time.
Well,
Excellent.
And
Townfall,
Homecoming is like
previews
the
for
only
Townfall are
halfway
really good.
decent.
Yeah.
Homecoming is
Sorry.
the only halfway decent Silent Hill that wasn't made by Team Silent. So
Right.
that's pretty
Right.
cool.
I'm pretty jacked.
Yeah,
That
I've heard nothing but
Downpour,
good
those
things
two
about
are
that
last
new one.
ones on my
So
list.
looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, Alien Isolation people were involved. Fucking sign me up.
Yeah,
I
like
was
it's
there.
all good stuff.
And hey, I will be doing the DJ thing tomorrow, Saturday. If you're listening to this on Friday, if not,
Okay.
you'll
Hell
miss
yeah.
it. But I'll be over on Soul Archaic on Twitch. I'll be there tomorrow doing some DJing.
Let's go.
Nice.
DJ Sinistar's back in action.
Good. It's been a bit. So for me, so I'm still doing my ranking of Mario. I took a bit of a break because I fell down an Elden Ring randomizer hole, but I'm crawling out of it. I swear. Also, the Mister had a new Virtual Boy core release this week, so I think it's a good time to play some Mario Clash on the Virtual Boy and rank it. So you can check that video out over on Sunday on our channel. So I'm sure that will rank very
Nice.
highly on my list, my exhaustive list of like 7 games. As I work through all of those
That's
games.
a lot of games, bro.
It's a lot of games, yeah. All right, guys, that's been an episode. That's been a great week. Thanks again for everybody for watching and listening. Have a great week.